Good morning, students. So today we are going to start our next unit, unit number 5, which is surface chemistry. Now in this we are going to study today about absorption and adsorption, and what is the difference between them, and how many types of adsorption is there, and then we will differentiate those types of adsorptions. Okay. So first of all, this whole thing we are going to study in the branch of chemistry, and that is called surface chemistry. So what is surface chemistry? Surface chemistry deals with phenomena that occur at the surfaces or interface. Surface, you know what is interface? Interface or surface is represented by separating the bulk phases by a hyphen or a slash. Just like if there are two phases, one is solid and another is gas, then we will say it is solid gas interface. We will represent by a hyphen or we will put a slash. Okay. Now see, this is a sample of gold. Now this is its surface. Now at this surface it is in touch with air, that air which is around it. Okay, so this particular place where these two mediums are in touch, this will be termed as interface. Okay, we say what is it? It is interface. Similarly, water is till this point. Now above this there is air, so this particular portion becomes the interface. Okay, so what do we mean by interface? I think it is clear to you. Okay, now one more thing you have to remember. In case of air we can take, or mixture of gases we can take, since they are completely soluble or miscible, they are very easily mixed among all the components. All the components get mixed very easily, so there is no interface in case of gases. Okay, now let us come to important topic, adsorption. Okay, the surface of a solid has a tendency to attract and retain the molecules of the phase with which it comes in contact. Now just like we did now, that gold piece was there and it was in touch with the air around it. So gold surface has the tendency to attract the gas molecules towards its surface. Okay, now because of this tendency, what happens? These molecules remain only at the surface and do not go deeper into the bulk. So what will happen? Gas molecules will be on the top of the surface of the gold and they will not go inside. So what will happen? This phenomena will be termed as adsorption. Okay, so let me repeat now. The accumulation of molecular species at the surface rather than in the bulk of a solid or liquid is termed as adsorption. So by bulk you can understand the portion within. Okay, so don't confuse in this word. Whatever is except surface inside, that may be termed as bulk. Okay. Now two more terms come during the adsorption process. One is adsorbate and another is adsorbent. So what is adsorbate? Those molecules or substances which have accumulated at the surface are termed as adsorbate, and that material on which it has accumulated itself, or it has accumulated, that particular substance is called adsorbent. Now here with this diagram you can make it very clear. See this thing which is blue in color, this thing is adsorbent, and these spheres, these are of a particular gas. Okay, or they may be of a liquid. So these things which are getting in touch with the surface and are remaining there, these things are termed as adsorbate. Okay, so that sample on which adsorption occurs, that is adsorbent. Okay, and that thing which gets accumulated, that is adsorbate. Okay, So this way you have to distinguish it. Now, where is it applicable? Where we can see it? Okay, so very first thing, if a gas like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, chlorine, ammonia or sulfur dioxide, if we take these gases in a closed vessel, then we can determine its pressure. Okay, now once we have taken these gases in a container and then we determined their pressure and whatever is the value we obtained, second time what we did, we added little bit charcoal and we took the same amount of the gas in the same container, then we will get the pressure which will be lesser. So why it happened? We took the same amount of gas but we added a particular substance called charcoal. So why pressure of gas was less? Because charcoal has the tendency, it has the capacity to absorb the gases on its surface. So what happened? These gases, they got absorbed at the surface of charcoal, and because of that molecules were not able to strike with the walls of container, and so pressure we experienced was less. Okay, so this is because of adsorption. Now one more example, in a solution of organic dye, say methylene blue, it is the name of dye. Okay, if animal charcoal is added and it is well shaken and then it is filtered, then we will see that the filtrate is colorless solution. So what happened? Where that dye has gone? That dye was adsorbed by the animal charcoal. Okay, you can see here, see this is a piece of charcoal. Now this is colorful solution because of the presence of dye, and this is methylene blue. Now when we add this in this solution of dye and then we filter it, then what we will get? We will get clear water. Okay, after filtration we will get clear water. Why we are getting that? Because charcoal adsorbed all the methylene blue. Okay, now aqueous solution of raw sugar when passed over beds of animal charcoal. Okay, now see here what is done. Charcoal is used for decoloring of sugar. When sugar is prepared in factories, then its color is brown. It is not white as we consume. So what we do, in order to make it white, we have to add animal charcoal. And what animal charcoal does? It absorbs it, the molecules which cause the color in sugar, those molecules get adsorbed at the surface of animal charcoal, and so sugar which we eat, which we consume, that appears white or colorless. Okay, now one more thing is there, silica gel. You might have seen when you buy new shoes, then what can you see? You may find a pack of silica gel inside, that is kept there in order to absorb moisture in case there is any. Okay, so silica gel is also a very good absorber, or we can say adsorption also takes place in this case. Now one more word comes, desorption. Now what is desorption? D word means removal of. In general, D word means removal of. So desorption means that process in which the adsorbed substance is removed from the surface on which adsorption process occurred. Okay, so what we can say, the process of removing an adsorbed substance from a surface on which it is adsorbed is called desorption. Okay, now we will distinguish between adsorption and absorption. Okay, so in adsorption, the substance is concentrated only at the surface and does not penetrate through the surface to the bulk of the adsorbent, while in absorption the substance is uniformly distributed through the bulk of the solid. Okay, now see here in this diagram you can see that we have taken a particular surface. On that surface, in 3 steps we have shown accretion. Accretion means these gas molecules, or they may be this liquid molecule also. So they are coming to the surface on which they are going to get adsorbed. Okay, and if these molecules get adsorbed on the surface, then that process will be adsorption. And because of some increase in temperature or any other factor, if those molecules come out, okay, from the adsorbent, then this thing will be termed as desorption. Okay, now one more thing. Adsorption means that molecules will be on the surface, whereas absorption means the molecules will be on the surface as well as in the bulk of the substance on which absorption or adsorption is occurring. Okay, now let us discuss few examples where adsorption and absorption, these processes occur. Okay, now when we take a chalk stick and we dip it in ink, then the surface retains the color of the ink due to adsorption of colored molecules, while the solvent of the ink goes deeper into the stick due to absorption. Okay, see what we did. We took a chalk piece and we dipped it in the ink. Now ink is made up of dye. We did earlier in 9th standard, you did that ink shows its own color because of a particular dye. So there is dye and certain solvent which is used for making the ink. So if we take chalk and we put it in the ink, then what will happen? The molecules of solvent will move inside, but the molecules of dye, they will not move till that much inside, they will not move. Their movement will be restricted because they are heavier molecules and they will not go too much deep inside. Okay, but solvent molecules, they will go in the deep inside of the chalk. So if we break the chalk stick, then what we will find that it is white from inside and its sides are colorful. Okay, so sides are colorful because of adsorption of dye, and deep from the inside it will be wet. It is wet from inside because of absorption of solvent molecules. Okay, now similarly, one more example. If we take water vapors, then they are absorbed by calcium chloride. If I take calcium chloride in anhydrous form, then they are absorbed by the substance. But if I take silica gel, then they are adsorbed. What does it mean? It means then if silica gel is taken, then the molecules will be having more concentration on the surface, whereas if I take calcium chloride, then water molecules will have concentration throughout the sample, from inside also, from surface also, so that will be termed as absorption. Okay, now see, this is a pack of silica gel which I was talking about. Such packs are kept in the shoes so as to absorb moisture. Okay, and this is silica gel. Silica gel is available in a variety of colors. So if this is orange, then after absorbing water vapors or after adsorption, it changes to green. Okay, so if it is orange in color, it means it has still capacity to absorb water molecules from the surrounding, and if it absorbs to the maximum, then it changes to green. Okay, now one more thing. If both processes, adsorption and absorption, they occur simultaneously, then we use the term sorption, okay, to describe the process. One more is there, which is called dyeing of clothes. When we dye our clothes, then also we will say absorption also occurs and adsorption also occurs, okay. So that is the example of sorption. Now we come to mechanism of adsorption. Why adsorption occurs, or what is the mechanism involved in the adsorption, okay. Now adsorption arises due to the fact that the surface particles of the adsorbent are not in the same environment as the particles inside the bulk. Means when we take a particular substance, suppose this is a substance, this is a solid piece of metal, then if we talk about molecules on the surface, then they are in touch with the air outside, but those molecules which are inside it, they are not in the touch of air. So it means surface molecules are facing some other environment, and inside molecules they are facing some other environment. So because of this, there is phenomena of adsorption. So why there is phenomena of adsorption? Inside the adsorbent, all the forces acting between the particles are mutually balanced, but on the surface the particles are not surrounded by atoms of that kind from all the sides, so they possess unbalanced or residual attractive forces. So what is the main thing you have to remember? You have to remember that there is presence of unbalanced or residual attractive forces at the surface of the adsorbent, and because of these forces they want to get attracted with other molecules so that these forces are balanced. Now see, in this diagram what you can see, we have taken this piece and we have shown the balanced and unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces are shown by dotted line. These are unbalanced forces which are dotted line, this one, this and this. These are unbalanced forces, and there are 8 unbalanced forces. If I break this substance, then what is going to happen? Its surface area is going to increase, and these new unbalanced forces will also come into action. These are also new unbalanced forces. So unbalanced forces will be 12 now in this case. So when a molecule comes near the surface, then these unbalanced forces attract those molecules, and those molecules get attached with these surface molecules, okay, and this phenomena is known as adsorption, okay. So this is the mechanism of adsorption. Now what is the difference between adsorption and absorption? This you can see from this diagram. If it is adsorption, then only molecules will be on the surface of the adsorbent, but if it is absorption, then there will be molecules on the surface also, there will be molecules in the middle also, and there will be uniform distribution throughout the sample, okay. Now one more thing comes here, that is related to heat. Adsorption occurs because it makes the system more stable due to release of heat. So whenever adsorption occurs, then it results in release of energy, and if energy releases, then it means the energy of the system decreases, and we know minimum energy means maximum stability. So it means during adsorption there is decrease in the energy of the system, and so this process occurs due to spontaneity, due to its inner urge to acquire more stable form, okay. So what is the result? That enthalpy of adsorption is always negative because energy is released, okay. So what is the enthalpy of adsorption? When 1 mole of adsorbate gets adsorbed on a particular adsorbent, then the amount of heat change is termed as enthalpy of adsorption, and this amount of heat change is always negative. Okay. Now, how many types of adsorption is there? Now, there are so many criteria on the basis of which we give the different types of adsorption. Here at present we are going to categorize adsorption on the basis of attractive forces. Okay. So, on the basis of attractive forces, this can be categorized in two categories: physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Physical adsorption is also written as physisorption. Chemical adsorption is also written as chemisorption. Okay. Now, what is the difference? In physical adsorption, the adsorbent and adsorbate are attracted by weak van der Waals forces of attraction. Okay. And in case of chemical adsorption, the molecules of adsorbate form chemical bond with adsorbent. So this is the main difference. Now see here, physisorption means this is the surface and these molecules are the molecules of adsorbate. They are just touching it. Okay. And there is presence of weak forces of attraction. But in case of chemisorption, what happens? That substance which is called adsorbent, that possesses binding sites, and when a particular adsorbate comes near to it, then there is formation of bond at those particular sites. So there is formation of chemical bond. Okay. Now let us differentiate physisorption and chemisorption. See, physical adsorption is caused by weak van der Waals forces of attraction. It is caused by chemical bond formation. It is not specific. Not specific means it can occur anywhere. Any metal can undergo physical adsorption with any gas. Okay. But it is highly specific. Why it is highly specific? Because there is to form a chemical bond, and chemical bond formation needs those two things which should be able to form a bond. So it is highly specific. With everything, every gas, every substance cannot make chemical bond. So it is highly specific. It is reversible. Okay, means we can easily do sorption in this, not sorption, desorption. We can easily do desorption in case of physical adsorption, but desorption is difficult in case of chemical adsorption, because chemical bond once formed is very much tight and it needs more energy for its breakage. Now, enthalpy of adsorption is 20 to 40 kilojoule per mole in case of physisorption, but in case of chemisorption it is more than that. Now here it is given 80 to 240 kilojoule per mole, but in some books it is written 200 kilojoule to 400 kilojoule per mole. So even if you write 200 kilojoule to 400 kilojoules, then also it is correct. Okay. Now physisorption is favorable at low temperature and it increases with high temperature because of bond formation. Okay. Multi-layers are possible in case of physisorption, and there is only unilayer. Unilayer means once there is formation of chemical bond, then its active sites, they get consumed. Now they cannot form other bonds. Then once they form bond, then those molecules which have formed bond, they come as the protective shield. So other molecules cannot combine them. Okay, so there is only formation of unilayer, and in case of physisorption there is formation of multi-layers. Okay. Now on the basis of what we have done, you have to solve these home assignments. Okay. Thank you.